All right, what's up, everybody? Look, I'm back again to watch this video with you. Hopefully, you guys can enjoy part of my journey. So, of course, I've been talking in the past videos. I've done a reaction video just recently on ChatGPT. Plenty to make more there. I'm getting ready to watch this video testimonial from one of the students of Chris Reader, which I'm probably going to be a part of that whole program itself. I'm leaning towards jumping in that with affiliate situations because, again, I'm in this whole pathway to just generating wealth and income so that whenever I build my financial foundation, I can pass it on to everyone else. And I'm okay pretty well right now financially, but I would like to skyrocket that adventure. And so I'm looking at this testimonial just to see exactly what this experience is like for other people that go through this program, how they're generating like 100K in, we're talking like weeks. So 100K weeks. I mean, that would be phenomenal for me to have income at 100K a week. I mean, I could just totally scale whatever operations I'm trying to do. But I don't want to get into that. Let's watch this video. And as always, please like and subscribe. Please help me watch this with me. Watch the 4,000. I need 4,000 hours. I'm going to keep asking for it because that seems to be the only way I'm going to make it to this goal of trying to get monetized on the YouTube channel. But anyways, appreciate your time. And let's get into this and let's watch this video. Thank y'all.
As long as you're careful, you can't really lose much money on them.
Exactly. And how did you find the process of testing? Like, how did you find the process of the business model overall? Like, creating scripts, creating different hooks, testing. How did you find that process? Like from when you first started getting into it, knowing nothing about YouTube ads to then testing, making money, and then so on.
The course was by far the best course I've ever done, just the way it was laid out. You've got 2 or 3 minute videos, just sort of taking you through each step by step. So you just follow the video, set it up. And it was unbelievably simple, really. I'd never done anything on YouTube before. I'd never made a video. But everything was kind of there for you. If you needed the voices, you got the access to the voice you needed. And setting the websites up, and it was just so simple to do step by step. You literally, because you'd set it all up, hadn't you? So you could send the websites across from the training straight to the
templates. Yeah.
Straight to you. So you're kind of clicking a button and then your website's there and you're just changing a couple of words out. But I've got 3 girls who are, one's 22, one's 18, one's 16. So they've sort of been watching with interest as I've been making more and more money. So the 22-year-old's at uni, so she's a bit busy with her uni work at the moment. But the 18-year-old, I said, well, she was not working. I said, well, yeah, I'll send you the training. You try this. So she did it herself. She's never built a website or anything before. She kind of set it all up, did the script and everything. She showed me the script and I sort of, made a couple of tweaks on it and just said, try that. So she set the video and I said to try pro denting because that seemed to be doing quite well at the time. So she set it up. She'd sold quite a few like little bits of stuff she had to get a bit of money for ads. So she started on £100 a day, and she's had like a couple of $500 days, $600 days, and she's kind of getting the money in now from ClickBank. She only started like 2 or 3 weeks ago, so
yeah, that's
she's getting like these big checks for 2,000. I think she got 2,800 or something last week that paid into her bank account, and now she's sort of desperately trying not to spend it on rubbish and put it back into ads. But yeah, so it shows how easy it is. She kind of just got on with it, did it. A week or so it took her to go through it all at a very slow pace.
Hey, something I want to say here, just commenting on this, because this might be a longer video because the testimony is pretty long, but I've tried a lot of different things. If you want to say I'm the biggest gullible idiot for picking these different different incentives, different programs that you can get rich quick schemes, whatever you want to call it, I've tried quite a few. And one of the things that I like to do, since I'm getting better and better and not getting screwed over, is I do try to look at testimonials and I do try to look at reviews and scams. And one of the things that's very hard to find on this particular program is the scam rates and stuff like that. And the people that come on here on the testimonials, like this individual here, I mean, it's great. I mean, they speak it's very convincible. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time, of course. But so far, I've been impressed by what I've heard from these individuals. And I'm getting ready to test this program out for myself. So if it doesn't seem to fly or if it doesn't seem to work, you'll know firsthand. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat anything. If I got something that's working, you're going to know about it. If I got something that ain't working, you're going to know about it. So just keep listening to this guy, because he's not the only one. There's one guy on here that I believe he had a 500K month. Now, this might have a 400K month, but I mean, let's be serious here. Let's be honest. You have a 400K month. I don't think you're really going to be wanting to do a whole lot of extra for the rest of the year unless you're just an ambitious person. Like me, I'm ambitious. You give me 400K, I'm going to figure out what I'm going to liquidate that in and purchase. Or I might throw it back into this program. I'm not quite sure. I think what my first pathway will be when I'm pursuing this cash flow and revenue stream is first getting the accumulation phase. So I will be a gather, and then I'll be transitioning over into security. So then I'll be trying to make the funds and everything more secure. Buying up real estate, buying probably self-storage facilities, things that I could feel like I would be buying a potential to have growth in an asset. So this is kind of my approach, what I think I'll be doing with this. There's also another cat on here that I'm going to review his stuff, and I'll be trying. And somebody's going to tell you, like, all day, you know, pick one thing and do it well. I have a hard time disagreeing with that statement, but you also need to check in with who you are. If you struggle to sit still on a certain path and you're just like, oh, but I gotta give it time. If you can't get still with it, at least find a way to manage it. Try a few different other things, but try to limit so many of the other things. That's what I would encourage somebody to do if they're like me, that just has a lot, like everything is a buffet. I say pick a little bit from each, that your plate is full and you recognize it's full, and you don't try to like take the whole buffet. So just get a plate full, not the whole buffet. Just my 2 cents.
She's, it's been good. I probably shouldn't tell you that, 'cause she's not a proper member of
That's fine, bro. That's fine. No, that's amazing. No, I'm all about paying it forward and stuff, which is why it's awesome to jump on these calls. But hearing that story is like inspiring as well, because, you know, you've had success and you're you know, getting your younger daughter to do it as well, which is like,
teaching the student.
That's amazing. I know. If I had kids, I'd be getting them to do this 100%.
Yeah, well, you got
working at a restaurant or something.
Yeah, you got your brother on, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. Like I got my brother on, my auntie's even doing it, making like, you know, like around $500 a day as well. So yeah, I mean, like, why not? Like, I think it's the best way to make money. So I try to get everyone onto it. Everyone I know, my friends, family and stuff.
Let's do a little quick check. He said he's got his aunt doing it. And remember, there's a lot of people having 10K days, 30K days, but a $500 day. Now, that doesn't sound all that attractive in comparison, but hey, 500, right? But let's go ahead and extrapolate that out. Let's say we make it a 7-day week. So 500 times 7 comes out to 3,500. We times that by 4, get 14,000. So even at 14,000, and we may not be doing that. Let's say we are doing it for 12 months. Times 12. It's 168,000. So we're talking about easily getting a 6-figure career salary, whatever you want to call it, revenue stream. And this seems like small potato money. And then you could possibly scale it up if you have aspirations to go there. Again, you've got somebody that's actually going to go through the program to find out for you. And a lot of times what I've uncovered is that it's almost PPC, where you're paying for this advertisement through Google. A lot of times what I've been hearing is it starts off with putting in $100 a day. Now you got to think $100 a day, God bless, that's a lot of money. But most of the times you're going to see your results from what they were saying in the first 2 to 3 days or 4 days. So you're not going to be spending like crazy amounts necessarily for the whole month. But let's say you have a very active stream. Maybe you're getting a good result going. You tend to leave your money in there, or you whatever money you're getting, you put back in, you reinvest. So we're looking at $3,500 for the month. If you're spending about $100 a day, what was it, 3,000 or 3,000? I'm sorry, my math is always silly. Last time I looked earlier it was 3,500. Let me see. So this guy, okay, it's $3,000. But what I was looking at, this one guy was putting in $500, and for 7 days out of the week, that's $3,500. So you're spending about $3,500 a week just scaling this thing up to keep making more money. Could be something. Could be profit. I'm saying I understand scalability. So as long as I got profit coming in and my ROI is going up, my net is going up, I'm fine. Makes sense to me. I've been in this career doing stuff what I've been doing as a contractor, real estate contractor. So trust me, that already makes sense.
Well, that's it. You don't sort of want to do it for them, but you don't need to with the training because it's kind of laid out in such a way that, you know, you wouldn't be able to not follow it really. It's just kind of putting in, even if you're just doing half
and
an
all
hour
the people
a day,
in these testimonials repeat saying the same thing. I'm not getting paid to say this, by the way.
Because once you got your website and everything set up, it's just, and once you got a couple of scripts, they're kind of, it just goes so much faster from there because you kind of, if you put a bit of time into a couple of decent scripts and a bit of time into your sort of first video, so the whole thing's like got a nice flow to it and everything. And I like to sort of do them so they're moving quite quickly. You've not got scenes on too long. It's kind of keeping the interest. But once you've done that, you just kind of change in the first 5 or 10 seconds out of the video. It's just so quick, you know. I can knock out 2 or 3 videos in the morning. The slowest part is waiting for them to upload to YouTube so you can get your ads sort of on them. But it's
a crazy journey, definitely. Yeah. So how many videos did it take you to find your first winner?
It was probably quite quick within the first 5 or 10 videos, and that was in weight loss as well. But I think because I had a kind of winning bid, but I didn't realise because I was promoting something on MaxWeb, and then it was, and then Exipure came out, and I just thought, well, I'll change a couple of, you know, reasons why, you know, the sort of the main
well,
reasons.
my question would be,
whatever, and swap to Exipure.
Is that $100 of ad space per video? That means it's $1,000 a day. I don't think that's
testing, you know, because you find one that's doing really well, and you're kind of trying to test it to beat it all the time, and probably should have just gone with that in the first place. But because it seems to do better than all the others. But I suppose if you don't keep testing, you don't find that, because that one that popped really just out the gate, you know, it was like just performing differently to all the other videos. It was just like, it just flew from day one, and it was kind of, I'm still running the ad now, and that's 4.5 months later or something, so it's still going.
That's amazing.
It's probably only the last week or so I've started turning the budget down on it, so I was trying to put loads, you know, I'm always trying to put more and more in to try and get the sort of figures up, and then it was like last week, I think, I sort of looked at the figures and thought, I'm not making the profit I was, I'm just kind of spending more and making the same profit. So that's when I've kind of decided to cut back a bit on the weight loss and try these other, you know, the dental and the prostate or whatever, just to keep the profit up, and that's sort of taking me down.
See, I'm halfway leaning to that too. I'm halfway leaning to when I'm already an affiliate for ClickBank, so I'm already promoting the weight loss product. And I don't like to mention names because if you have anything that goes back indirect to them, then they'll just kick you off from their, you know, selling their products. But, you know, what I can say is that area, and even one of the head honchos, they put out a video in ClickBank just to all the affiliates on which top 4 products to promote the most. Because, I mean, again, they want to see you do well, because when we do well, they do well. So it's really a big win-win-win community. But there is still competition within the little small sector of those trying to get the product sold. So as an individual that told us about, not this guy in the video, but the other one in ClickBank, he said, you know, you're going up against the LeBron James. And so there's a lot of competition, like the people that can really know how to sell out or make this product fly off the shelf or sell it like crazy. they're having the success. They're taking more of the ad space versus someone like me, a little peon that really has to work and doesn't have really any kind of experience. So what I've been trying to lean towards doing is picking something slightly that's trendy, but slightly not, that's different. And so what I've done is I lower like my competition rate, but I also kind of keep that healthy gravity range. So I'm trying to kind of go into that little space of doing this process. And I mean, I could be wrong in my approach, but I'm hoping that I'm not. And I could just find a good wide opening of opportunity that nobody's exploring. So I don't care if anybody wants to join me. There's too many damn products to sell out here. So competition is really theoretical in a way. I mean, some people experience it because they've limited their area of selling something, and other people have no competition because they could care less. It's a wide ocean of opportunity. They pick something different.
To make it on the prostate and the dental, so it's kind of funny. But yeah, 4 months.
See, he's picking something different. He doesn't pick the weight loss.
Profit.
He's using his other
probably
product,
been one day where it hasn't made profit in that time, and it was just kind of keep feeding it.
And you've been doing, like, I saw on your screenshot you sent me, you were doing like consistent over like $100,000 weeks. So, and that's all from like, so from your first winning ad to running it for like 3-4 months, like consistently, which is why we always, you know, in a lot of the promotional material, we say like all you need is that one winner. So from that like one winner, like doing 100K weeks, what's been your biggest month so far?
Last 4 weeks have all been over $100,000.
450,000 in a month is like like crazy. Like that's well above most, you know, high paying professional careers, and you're doing that like in a month, which is insane for everyone watching. Like to be able to see that you're looking at your phone right now and you can see that you've just made like 450,000 in a month, which is like insane.
Well, it's not really got going yet today because it starts at 8 in the morning here and it's 9 now, and a lot of my ads are on day parting to start, you know, at 1 in the afternoon anyway. So, yeah, I mean, it's crazy, and you kind of got this money, and because I'm still putting as much as I can back in, but then I like to, you know, sort of obviously building some up in the background to, you know, that you're saving up and stuff. And there's a couple of times, because I'm quite into cars, a couple of times I've nearly gone and got one, but then I've kind of thought, well, I'll save it. So I want, you know, you want to keep building up. You see your other students doing sort of, what is it, 2 million a year or something. There's one doing, is there? And
we have, I think our top student now is doing like $1 million every 2 weeks.
God, $1 million every 2 weeks.
I won't buy a car. I want to keep going and try and get, you know, to that level, because then you could buy 2 cars in a week if you wanted to at that point, you know. And you kind of, and then my wife started going on about, you know, redoing the house. So she's like, no, I want to spend it on ads, not on wardrobes.
Keep reinvesting it. And did you ever think it was possible to make that sort of money in a month or even a day?
Well, I knew it was possible because I followed you guys for a while. You know, followed Gary and Robin, and I knew you did well on Facebook. And then, obviously, you know, I saw you did promo for the last thing, so I knew it was possible. But I didn't think it would be possible for me because I've kind of, you know, dabbled in this kind of thing for a while, you know, on and off, and kind of never hit the levels of success that people are doing. So it's kind of weird now to find.
And it would be great, you know, like they don't understand. Like if I'm gonna be their testimony, let's say that I start to hit these kind of numbers and I accelerate even beyond that, I will make sure that I go back and all of these little negative reviews that we see of people talking something about this Profit Singularity program, I'll make sure to bash them in. It'll be my pleasure to share my success and to also confront and contradict all of these other clowns that are out here trying to talk bad about the program. Now, I'm talking a lot of smack right now because I could fall flat on my face in this whole experience. But I don't appreciate a different subset of people that are promoting their high-ticket marketing, because I've watched some of these videos. And I don't have like really a bad thing to say per se that they're promoting or stating in their videos about this Profit Singularity. I'm not going to say that they're necessarily wrong. What I am saying is, if I have a totally different experience, and I can see and shape and see exactly what that outlet looks for me. And once I'm done and I'm generating the cash flow I will make sure that I come back around there and slap those channels down. I don't have time, I don't have patience for having disinformation out there that discourages people from taking an opportunity to better and change their lives. God, I feel like I'm on a presidential campaign. But I really feel this way about people bettering their lives, and I don't like people trying to discourage or distract them or detract them from trying to get ahead. So, yeah, let's continue on.
Where I'm getting interviewed by you, you know, kind of because I have done it, and it's yeah, and hopefully, you know, I'll keep doing better and better. So it's kind of, it is strange, and it is, because you know, if I thought 6 months ago I'd be spending 10 grand a day on ads, you know, you wouldn't believe it, but it certainly wouldn't be in my comfort zone. At the stage, you know, when I was sort of spending £100 a day, you kind of feeling bad if you try and bump it up to 200, you know, but now it's kind of, you just kind of push to the next level.
It's been a crazy 6 months, like for me and for you especially. Like, what would you say to yourself back then? Because you said like it's like unbelievable that you could spend like 10 grand in a day. So like, imagine yourself first during the course. You said you struggled with other business models and stuff. What would some words of advice you'd give yourself just joining the course and just starting testing some videos?
I think you've got every day, you've just got to do something that moves you sort of in the right direction. So some days you wake up and you think, I can't be bothered. But if you just do like 10 minutes,
I'm extremely
take that to set up a website or change a few things on a landing page. And I don't know, somehow when you kind of do that, you feel like doing a bit more anyway once you get into it, don't you? But it's just kind of taking action, really. I mean, you say it in the you've got the mindset part on the training, haven't you? Really sort of talking about the consciousness of it, and then there's the kind of, you know, stay laser focused and don't give up, because you will have, you know, there is the odd day, especially at the start, where you kind of feel like a couple of ads aren't working, but you just got to push through it and you just keep at it, because if you get to the other side, it is life changing.
Yeah, I could imagine, and it does come with the persistence and consistency to do it. But as you even said, like when you first started, you mentioned how it's not hard to it's hard to sort of lose money if you keep your ads in check. So do you want to run us through that? Because you first started launching your ads and you're making like sales like straight off the bat. So do you want to discuss a little bit about that process and sort of monitoring how your ads are performing and making sure that you're not losing money in that beginning stage?
Yeah, kind of, because obviously, like at the start, when you've just got a little budget, I'd be trying to test a couple of things at 2 ads at 50 quid a day, say, and you can see quite quickly, because obviously you lay out the stats that you need to look for in the training and everything, so you can see quite quickly if one's performing better than the other. If you're paying too much for a click, you can turn it off after £20, and you know you can afford to lose £20 kind of because the other ads are going to pick it up anyway. So you know quite quickly if an ad's not going in the right direction. You can turn it off, tweak the start of it, relaunch it with the rest of that budget for the day if you want, and see if that's getting better. And just little, I mean, once you're spending a bit more, you can afford to spend a bit more on an advert. You know, you might inadvertently turn off one that's going to do okay, but you know, you can tell quite quickly, can't you, that it's going to do all right, or if it's not going to do all right, just by how much you're paying for a click and how many people are clicking through off it.
I was going to say, yeah, exactly. Like, especially when you follow the metrics in the course and you're monitoring your ads. You know, your first ads might not be that good, and you have the metrics we give, and then you just keep tweaking till you find that sweet spot, and then boom, you're like consistently, you know, you might be making money on some ads, losing money on the others, and it's like breaking even until you sort of just optimize, trim the fat, and then boom, start scaling up.
Yeah, well, it's like you've said before on the training, I do the Q&As as well. You know, you kind of just testing, if you're just testing one variable against another variable, it kind of, you're sort of moving up the ladder, aren't you? Sort of tweaking because you're just going in the right direction all the time. So it's kind of, you know, you just if you add something in and it improves it, then you leave it in. If you take something out and it makes it worse, then you put it back in, and you just kind of, you're always sort of honing in on the winning ad, aren't you? Because you're going in the right direction every time. And,
exactly.
It's
every variation you do, every test you do, you're just getting better and better. You're getting more ROI, more profit, and you're just working towards that direction until you hit that big winner. And in your case, the big winner, boom, you know.
yeah. But the thing,
I mean, here's something to think about as far as like targeting different demographics. Something I would explore. They already tell you, like, whenever you're selling this one weight loss product, that your customer base is going to be 40 plus, as far as like age groups. So going to be 40 plus and older. And they tell you the countries, which if you look up the most obese-driven countries, the ones that they tell you to promote it on, the English-speaking ones, are the ones that they're using. So it's interesting. Like, I did that independent of what the company did, and my statistics matched up. And those countries happen to be the UK, America, Canada, and I think the other one was Australia. And so those 4 countries are what they promote, tell you to send to. But what would be even more effective, instead of it just cascading and just kind of blanketing the entire country region, would be to split it up and find the sub-regions, the states, or those little areas that seem to be very predominantly obese-driven. Like, I didn't go that far. I should have just gotten that information and just scaled up an ad in that direction. I might still do that. I've got one running right now on Facebook. But, a lot of money going out, not any really coming in. So I would love to see some success. And that's what I'm after. This whole new moon that I'm on right now, of course, where I'm at, I'm heading into a new moon cycle. And my affirmations for that direction are just get paid, make progress, be positive. And so far, everything's going in that direction. I'm having a great vibe, great feeling. I got so many investor situations lined up and relationships. I'm just like, I'm very blessed to be at the precipice of something amazingly great. And if anybody wonders how I got to this position and getting this motivated, all I did was put together a manifestation board. I look right at it across here in my office on this wall across from me. And one day I'll share with everyone. I like to share that once I'm really nailing these out and just letting people know that there's something in that, some magic in that board. Because otherwise, before that, I was just a ship sailing at sea with no direction, no rudder.
Is that big winner, because it was as I said, it's been going for 4 months, but that script could be a winner for another 2 years in other niches. It's just changing out from weight loss to prostate or weight loss to dental, but it's essentially going to be the same script that you're running. So if a winner, say if you have a winner that lasts for 4 months, which is a long time, I think, because you could certainly never do that on Facebook. If you have a winner that's consistently making you thousands a day for 4 months, and then you can just swap it out to another niche, the same script, and make that a winner for another 4 months in another niche, and then another 4 months in another niche. It's kind of like you set for life off one script, basically, kind of just changing the thing you're promoting. It's when you think of it like that, it's you've not got anything to do. You kind of like, what do you do now? You can't be on holiday every day, can you? So, but it's a funny feeling. You sort of just sat there in front of your computer thinking, I've got nothing to do here.
You're just making so much money without doing anything. You're just
making all that the money in the background. And the other thing, it's like, I don't know, it's just crazy because it's like 365 days and it's 7 days a week. Through the night you're making money, through the day you're making money. It's like, I think, over the years people get conditioned to sort of think, I've got to clock in at 9 and clock out at 5 or whatever, and that's my working day. But you've got something like this that's just working for you, sort of in the background. It's a way forward, isn't it?
Exactly. And like you said, you wake up and you've already made like 8,000, and then you don't have to do much in the day. You're just like refreshing your stats, like, I just made another 1,000. I made another 1,000.
I'm terrible for that. Yeah,
and to put that into perspective for some people, because I've had the exact same thing. It's like when you click refresh every like 5 minutes, from your perspective, give us some examples of like you press refresh, it's at like 15,000, and then you refresh it and you've made like another 1,000 in between the times you refresh it. Because that's crazy to think that, you know, as you said, people clock in and clock out. They wake up to an alarm to make, you know, not $1,000 in a day, and you could just refresh your stats the next 30 minutes and you've just made $1,000.
Yeah, well, that's the crazy thing. Well, I don't know if I go 30 minutes between refreshing on some day, because you've just got to find something to go out and do. I mean, even when I go to the gym every day, but I'm sat there in between sets, just having a quick refresh of it, and it's
addicting.
A couple of days ago, and I had my best day, and obviously I've had quite a lot of days that are close to that anyway. But you kind of just, it's like you're refreshing it every 5 minutes, and it's going up another couple of $100 every 5 minutes. And I think my best refresh, I remember it quite well, was about a month ago, and that was my best day at a time. But I literally put my phone down, refreshed it, and then I've kind of I think it's part of my normal movements now, just to refresh my click magic. My battery dies in about 3 hours on these phones now, but I literally refreshed it, put it down, and then 3 minutes later refreshed it, and it gone up like $1,000. I was like, you have to double check it, 'cause you're like, well, that was a bit quick. But it's
positive reinforcement.
Because it doesn't feel like real money, does it? It's like a sort of game almost, that you just some people are playing on the games on their phone all the time. You're just, refresh
game,
but it's real money.
That's crazy. And especially because when we talk about such big numbers as well, it's like, it's crazy. Like for you, you're experiencing it, but for other people, like as you said, you couldn't have imagined spending $1,000 a day, and now you're spending way more than that, making way more than that. And it's kind of crazy because it does become like a video game when you're making that much money. And especially the process of running the ads, like you said, you have so much free time now. It's incredible.
I'll probably just make videos for every single product on ClickBank.
Yeah, exactly. And how do you find the process? Because, you know, it's not like a normal job where you're, as you said, clocking in and out and sort of dreading it. So how did you find the process? Like, do you find it enjoyable? Do you find it tedious? Like, how do you find the process of creating a script, creating the videos, launching the ads?
That's it. I don't find it tedious. No, I quite enjoy it, to be honest, because you always, obviously you're trying to come up with sort of new hooks and stuff. So I think it's quite exciting because you come up with a new idea, you get the vid together. I mean, a lot of the time you're just changing the first 10 seconds of the video anyway. So it's not that hard work, really. You just, it's minor changes. And then I quite like the excitement of when you're launching, you launch that and you sort of sit back and thinking, how's this one going to go? I don't know. I think it's quite exciting, just coming up with a new idea and testing how it's going to go, kind of thing.
Novelty.
Yeah, I think of it like a video game. It's just like, because it actually is enjoyable to do the process, and it doesn't require too much like creativity and stuff. Even though if you have that, you can put it in. But I find it like enjoyable to just sit down, make some videos, make some small tweaks, launch it, and then as you said, like you wake up in the morning excited to see, which one's going to perform, which one's going to make me the most money.
Yeah, because you obviously, any idea you come up with, you're kind of thinking in your head at the time, it's the best idea you've ever had, and it's going to blow everything out of the water, sort of thing. So you kind of, I get excited launching new ads because especially when you start seeing the first stats come through, if they're looking good, you're thinking, is this another one?
Yeah. And so how has that transition been in your life from scraping together like £100 to 100? What is it? You guys have pounds, like £100 to spend on ads to now making like tens of thousands of dollars a day in profit. Like, how has that transition been?
Well, it's obviously been good, but it's I don't know. It's weird because I've always sort of been a bit of a dreamer all my life, really, of things you want to do and things you want to buy and nice houses and great holidays and stuff. And now it's kind of basically becoming a reality that you can do. I couldn't afford £1 million house yet, but if you do this.
Yeah, but like the other thing is cool right now, and I'm glad if somebody's watching this all the way through, bravo to you. Look at this guy. I mean, look at me. I'm approaching my 40-year mark. Okay, this guy's probably in his 40s, so he's older than me. Probably been through a lot more failures in life. I've been through shit tons of. Everybody's got their story of failing, but I don't mind failing. I don't wish for it. I wish for it in the sense that if I'm on my path towards something successful, let me hurry up and fail through it. That's kind of how my philosophy has been. So I don't let the failures get to me really that much. I don't welcome them, but I do also encourage that they come through and go on by. And I experience a knowledge aspect. Each time I'm going through a failure, I am trying to learn from it. Like, oh, what happened there? Let me tweak that. Let me get some of that, the juice or whatever, the nectar from that experience so that I can extrapolate that on to the next adventure. And you've got an individual like this who there's a lot of people in their late 40s or in their mid 40s that could just be trying to just give up in life. They're just tired of whatever it is they're doing. They just might settle in on the 9 to 5 and just say, hey, I need something to get me by because my brain is taxed. And this individual, you can see the life in him is restored. He's got hope. He's got peace. He's got less stress. All this stuff has come as a win from trying so many things that didn't work. And I might be painting the story that is fictitious. But for me at the moment, this is what's conveying to me from this video. And I like to think I'm a pretty good read of things. And so far, it's not reading red flag. If somebody thinks it's a red flag, let me know in the comments.
For another, when you look at how much you're making in profit, you're kind of thinking, well, this is possible now. And certainly things that you couldn't, little treats that you couldn't get before, and like getting a nice car or redoing the house and stuff like that you couldn't see a way of affording, you can suddenly sort of on the verge of just going out and buying them because it's weird really. I'm trying to be more controlled because in the past, I've had success over the years. The job paper that I do that I mentioned at the start, that's done well for times, and you kind of during the good times I'd go out and spend it on something I probably shouldn't have. So I'm trying to be more strict this time and just put it back into the business and keep building that up, because it's not like I live a terrible life. It's kind of, I've got a house and it's just kind of building it up and looking to the future of the sort of options I have in the future with a lot more money behind me.
Yeah, where do you see yourself in the next 6 to 12 months? You've got you've sorted your ads out. You now you're testing different offers, making money, as you said, testing dental, prostate, doubling your money. Where do you see yourself in the next 6 months?
Sat in that room next to you, Chris.
I mean, one day we'll meet. One day for sure.
Giving you a big hug, saying thanks. I don't know. I'm trying to keep an open mind at the moment, but it's kind of opening the doors to a lot more possibilities. You kind of think, if you suddenly get a lot of money behind you, start thinking I should invest in things, and you don't know what to. You've never been in that position before, so you don't know what
See, and I've already had my mind wrapped around investments, but see, he's by a natural result of experiencing this wealth, he's automatically moving himself in a state of, how do I invest this? How do I go about this and putting it into certain things? Now, this is one of the aspects that I'm trying to. I've got a psychology background. I got 4.0 masters in psychology, and one of the things that I'm fascinated with is the unknown. That people always seem to speculate or hypothesize what they think somebody's going to do once they get a large sum of money, and I'm like, you don't really know that. No one. There's nothing to postulate, because it is relative to that moment. And depending on what things have happened previously will kind of slightly dictate how this behavior is going to go forward. So in his case, he's starting to think how I would restructure, how I would invest. These are the aspects that somebody would have as of money. There's other things that people might do. And this is to contrast what people say, that people will get money and they'll automatically go and just spend it and buy lavish things. I'm like, yes, there's a subset of people that are going to use money in irresponsible, what am I saying here? In unresponsible ways, right? But there's going to be a different class of people that are going to take the money and they're going to use it in a way that's going to benefit others, benefit their situation, what have you. But it ain't going to be unresponsible, if that makes sense. So I don't know why people struggle with this notion that money doesn't always equate to corruption. It doesn't always equate to misappropriation or bad use. It could honestly spark and inspire people to bring about the best parts of themselves. All of a sudden, the things that they've been living in, the filth and the dirt, now they start cleaning it up. Now they want to take care of the surrounding environment they live in and the community. Now they want to contribute back to the community. They feel like they have the option and the availability to do so. So I'm a big proponent for people to get liberated more so than to let them struggle through the gauntlet to get there. There's too many people, and I've been one of them, that if I was given that break, that chance, and if they were given that break or that chance, they would have accelerated in contributing back to the collective. And I'm one of those people that I want to be able to have that experience so that I can give those people that I feel like were like me that shot, that opportunity to then catapult themselves forward and be that contributor to society. I mean, that would be my blessing. That would be a huge blessing in my life. I could rest. My body could lay to rest with that being done here on this planet. My soul will be happy.
In a few baskets kind of thing, or whether to just keep pushing forward with this, because the sort of freedom of lifestyle is something that I've always wanted, where you can kind of...
Yeah, but I want other people to have freedom too.
Often,
I've had fun.
Imagine yourself just kind of do a couple of hours work on the beach in the morning and then, toss around in some nice country. So I don't know, I'm just trying to keep building it up and
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you're in a completely different reality now, as you said. Like you're making this money, and now you're thinking about like investing and stuff. And I think that is like the ultimate path, and especially to have the free time to think about that sort of stuff and like contemplate. As you said, you got too much free time, so you're going to the gym, making money. You said you were like on holiday, paying for your holiday in like a day, and now it's just like, the realm of opportunities opens up to like start investing and building more wealth and setting yourself up, which is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, we were going to go on holiday again in August, and that's a weird thing. So you sort of think you can't go on holiday and then go on holiday again 5 weeks later, but it's reality. But we didn't in the end, because
just going on holiday after holiday.
Leave the dog behind. So there you go.
The dog is ruining holidays.
So yeah.
I'm sure you could pay for a dog sitter or something.
Well, but she doesn't like leaving it with strangers.
No,
leaving with a stranger.
So I've got to work out how to get rid of.
He's probably tired of you anyway.
No, well, it's been incredible to hear your story, and like from you sending me your most recent screenshots, now hearing that like 2 days ago you hit an even bigger day. Like it's just going to keep going up now, and you've been so consistent with it as well, which has been incredible. Like just seeing your screenshots and stuff, which I'm sure we'll be putting up on the screen. It's been amazing. And from like going from like, talking with you on like Instagram and stuff to now like finally talking with you like face to face and stuff, and like meeting you and hearing about your story and everything, it's like, it's incredible. It's very humbling for me to get on these calls and talk with yourself.
Yeah, well, I'll be eternally grateful, really, to all four of you behind the course, because it's literally changing people's lives.
You're running a video for 4 months, making like 100K a month, and you're like, you just have like total free time. It's like,
well, that's it. I mean, people just drill into you, don't they? Through school, through whatever you got to do, school, do uni, go and get a job, try and work your way up in your job, and it's the wrong way to do things, really.
Yeah. Well, I think there's so many pathways and opportunities out there. It's just about finding the one.
Yeah, I don't want to discourage the person that does do
what
that
you want to pursue, and that's been the biggest thing for me. Dropping out of university and stuff. But 100%, and at the rate that you can have success as well is also, generally people think you have to work a job for like 3 years, then you get like a raise, then you work another 3 years, then you get a raise. But like in the case of you and so many of our students, it's like you crack into one winning video, you're making $1,000 a day, which is $7,000 a week. Then you're making $10,000 a day, which is $70,000 a week.
giving yourself a raise every 24 hours.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It'd be interesting, you know, if ClickBank did a stat that showed from like December to now. It would be an interesting graph to see. Because
yeah, I want to 100%. Yeah, we're actually in the process of getting the total student sales. The previous stat that we had was 64 million generated by our students, but that was before, you know, we started with.
So I want to clue somebody in on this. I keep things real, right? We're watching this together. We got about maybe 3 minutes left of this video. Probably going to stop it right here. He's saying from December to now, I'm curious to see what the stats are. Now, he's been talking about December, and then he also include in the relevant time frame of April. So that's probably going to be the 4-month time span that they're talking about. And if they're talking about December to April, guess what? This film is being made as of Sunday, February the 19th of 2023. So granted, this 3-month video, or this video that I'm watching right here came out 3 months ago on the channel. But in reality, it came out last year. And so we're talking about April of last year that this was a success story. Is this going to change things going forward, how things are going now? I don't know. That's why I'm about to take this program. I'm going to find out, because it's great to have things in the moment what's more current. And I'm going to be a person reporting more on the relevant time or the relative time frame. So we don't have to worry about all that. But that's something I want to note, that he said, I wonder what the ClickBank statistics are going to be from December to now. So that, let's keep that in track, keep that in mind. So when somebody goes and looks up this video and they're like, oh, wait a minute, this was like 3 months ago. Like, no, this was not 3 months ago, because if the individual is talking about April and December, and that's his time frame that he's talking about making the success, then we know that this is something that happened as of December 2021, and then it rolled over all the way through to April of 2022. Anyways, I'm going to wrap up this video. You guys, if you spent the time to watch all that with me, great, thank you. I might put out a live video for most of my next sessions, because I think those go better. Everybody can just kind of chime in while we're watching this. And as always, thank you for taking the time. Subscribe, like, boost up the watch time. If you made it here, thank God you made it here, because I need 4,000 hours of watch time. My thing is, I want to monetize this channel. You've seen in my goal list for my channel description, I had to re-edit it because I felt like ChatGPT was going to screw me up for a description. So here it is. I'm being honest with you. Thank you for your support. I mean that, and I'm going to return it to you, I promise. And the more and more I get on these videos, I hope you understand that I'm getting more confidence to make these videos, to hopefully make them more entertaining for you and for me as well, being the presenter or entertainer that I am at the moment. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening. Peace.